gonna try not to throw anything and break more of my makeup in this video. It's good to have goals. Welcome back, everyone. Today's video I'm excited to do because it's going to be another will I buy it again video. So I just posted one of these and it was on eyeshadow palettes, and the concept came from Dolly Mama Beauty. I will link her channel down below, also the eyeshadow palette video as well. But Amy wanted to do the video as kind of a spin on the Will I Buy It series that I do, which is where I talk over new makeup releases and when I buy them. She wanted to touch on her own makeup collection, what she had already purchased, and then talk about would she buy them again. So I did that for eyeshadow palettes, and a lot of you seem to really enjoy that video. I got a lot of comments that you wanted to see me do more. So I actually just got off of a YouTube live chat today. I just did like a little live doing my makeup, hanging out with everyone, and I brought it up and I saw a few people mention that they wanted to see blushes and also bronzers. So I thought it would be fun to do kind of like a little, I love series, but like a little mini series of this would I buy it again, especially because I'm also doing my collection and declutter videos right now. So I've already done bronzers, blushes, highlights, and face palettes. I thought it would be fun to pull in those because these videos aren't a declutter video, and I feel like it's interesting to do these videos now as 2023 was my low buy year. It was the year that I was cutting back on how much new makeup I was trying, even how much PR I was keeping, and I'm just kind of in a different mindset when it comes to makeup at the moment. So I think it's a really interesting time to do this. So if you want to see one on like foundations, concealers, lip products, that sort of thing, I will be having my full lip collection swatches declutter video. That video will be coming soon as well. Again, I will link everything in my description box and the YouTube shopping tab, including my makeup and, like I said, the live get ready with me as well. But I have 11 products. I think I did 11 for the last one. So I wanted to do 11 products for this. A lot of it is bronzers. I have 5 bronzers in front of me, 3 blushes, a highlight, and 2 face palettes. Also, quick note before we get started, because I just like could not believe this happened. When I did that eyeshadow palette video, I talked about the Patrick Ta Major Dimension and I said how pretty it was. I purchased the Major Dimension too, but would I repurchase it? No. Today I dropped it and it shattered everywhere. I hope I just inserted a photo there. Shattered everywhere. And I was like, now I'm afraid I'm gonna be like throwing makeup around in this video as like a, okay, now you broke it. Are you gonna buy it again? You said you weren't, but are you gonna be sad? Are you gonna buy it again? Like I couldn't believe that happened because I just filmed that video a few days ago. Like I'm gonna try so hard not to throw my makeup in this video. Okay, let's get started though. I'm gonna start with highlight because highlight is one of those products that I'm just not really wearing a lot right now. So, or really ever right now. So I've really decluttered a lot of highlights out of my collection, and you know, I think maybe some would think, okay, like you're not wearing highlights as much, you're decluttering a bunch of them, so you probably wouldn't repurchase, right? But the highlight that I have is from Natasha Denona, and this is the Super Glow highlight. This was one of the first products that I got from Natasha Denona that I really fell in love with and was like, oh, look at that. Like, oh, okay, like I can see the hype on this brand, I can see the hype on this. Like, this was a $36 highlight when I bought it, and I remember being like, I can't believe you're spending $36 on a highlight. Like, to me, that was wild. It was so expensive, but so many people are talking about this, and I was like, I have to try it. So would I buy this again? Honestly, I think that I would. I really do. This is, I mean, I bought this highlighter in like 2016, 2017, and it has stayed with me. It has stayed with me through all of my declutters. Like I said, it's one of those original products from Natasha Denona, which is now one of my favorite brands just in general. It was one of the first products that I really fell in love with. It was a highlight that I was recommending constantly. It was one of my most used highlighters. And again, it's one that I have not been able to get rid of through my declutters. Like I still continue to hang on to this one. So would I buy it again? Yeah, I think I would. Moving over to a couple face duos. One I have, and it does have a highlight in it. This is from Iconic London, and this is their Rose Glow Duo. Now this is really beautiful. You have a blush, you have a highlight. I just did a Get Ready With Me recently, and I did use this palette in there because I put this in my Best of Beauty from 2022, and I just did revisiting those favorite products. So I will have that video linked up in the cards. And I touched on this one and I said, you know, it's still really pretty and the blush is absolutely stunning, but I think because it has a highlight in there too, I don't reach for it a lot. I tend to just reach for a single blush. So I put this in a recent Get Ready With Me with some other 2022 favorites, my Patrick Ta foundation, ColourPop Not a Box of Chocolates. So it's super pretty, but I think, would I buy it again? I don't think so. I think I would just go for a blush. And I'm pretty sure I used an Iconic London blush when I did a Get Ready With Me when I was in Austin, and I was using Angelica Nifis makeup bag. Pretty sure it was Iconic London, right? And it was just a single blush. It was super glowy. It was super beautiful. I think that's what I would purchase instead of doing something that has a blush and a highlight in it. Again, it's pretty. I didn't declutter it when I did that recent declutter, but it's definitely on the chopping block. And I don't think that I would repurchase it again. Now, I don't know why I just like really wanted 11 products in this video to be like the last video. I don't know why I do this to myself. But next up we have from Benefit, and it is the Hoola Beach Vacay. Now I did declutter this, so I think we could probably guess what I'm going to say here. But we have a bronzer and a blush. I purchased this maybe in like, I feel like it was maybe like late spring or early summer. I purchased this little duo here. And I was saying in my declutter video that it was like, I just thought it was cute. Like, I thought it was cute, and I liked that it was bronzer and blush and not a highlight as one of the options. I just thought that I was gonna get more use out of it, but I'm just not. I feel like right now I'm definitely reaching for my singles. I'm reaching for powder products, I'm reaching for single bronzers, single blushes right now. And makeup preferences are always kind of changing. Like, sometimes I'm really obsessed with my face duos or my face palettes, but I'm just not right now. So not using it a lot. I ended up decluttering it. Again, I have been filming so much because I was just doing Vlogmas. I had 12 days of long form videos up over here. So I still have it sitting out right here. I'm just gonna pass this over to a friend because it's in really good condition, but that would not be a repurchase for me. And then moving over to some blushes. I have this one from Rare Beauty, and I can remember being so nervous to buy this blush from Rare Beauty. This is their like melting cream blush in the shade Nearly Neutral. This is beautiful. So when I first started trying Rare Beauty, I purchased one of their liquid blushes and I didn't like it at all. And it was the matte finish. I've gone on to realize that I really like the more like satin finish, but the matte finish, I did not like that blush at all. And just the first few products that came out from Rare Beauty when they were a new brand, I didn't really gravitate towards them. They kind of just weren't my personal makeup preference, but I still wanted to try the brand and see what I thought. So obviously I wasn't giving like glowing reviews of it, and I like to think that I was making sure to say like, this just isn't what I would wear, this isn't my preference. But man, I got so much hate on that. Like, I realized how much people love Selena Gomez from my first few Rare Beauty videos, and people telling me I don't know anything, I don't know anything about makeup, I like all these things. I was like, oh my goodness. But I was still intrigued by Rare Beauty. I still was intrigued what the brand would be coming out with. And again, it's not like I thought their products were bad quality. They just didn't, it just wasn't what I was choosing to wear for myself, right? So when they came out with their next launch, I bought more products, and I was so scared to try them out because I was like, what if I don't like them? People are really gonna hate me. They're gonna think I have a feud with Selena Gomez. I didn't invite her to girls' night and now she's mad about it. Like, I was convinced it was gonna be a whole thing, right? So I buy this blush and it's beautiful. I really like it. I like this more than the liquid blush. I did declutter the liquid blush when I did the last declutter. It's a nice product, but I'm just not really going for the liquids right now. Again, I'm really not even going for the creams. I'm going for the powders. But I did want to keep around the cream blush because I do think that it's very easy to use and it's very pretty. All that said, would I buy it again? It's not, I don't regret buying this because I like it and I've gotten some really good use out of it. I don't think I would buy it again though. Again, this is the time of life, like, I am really cutting down on my collection. That's why I really like to do videos like this, and I'm really excited to do more, and I hope you're excited to see more, because it is kind of challenging as someone who has a beauty channel who isn't trying every single new makeup release. You know, I get comments, or I see comments online, or I see people post videos online of like, influencers are the reason for, you know, heavy consumerism, and content creators are the reason why people are spending so much money on makeup, contribute to FOMO with new makeup releases. But on the flip side of that, when you start to cut down on new makeup releases, then I get the comments of like, your channel is going to fail and this is a terrible business model, and how are you going to expect people to watch your videos if you're not trying any new products? Like, you know, so you're always going to get both sides of things, right? And of course, it's something that's played into my mind of, if I'm not always trying the new makeup releases, like how many more things beauty-wise am I gonna be able to come up with? But that's why it's fun to look at my collection and kind of discuss it in this manner, especially because of this year being the low buy and the cutting back year, because it makes you really think about your purchases. And again, if your makeup was to get lost, stolen, damaged, you throw it on the floor just for fun, like I did the Patrick Ta palette, would you go out and buy it again? And I think because in this moment right now that I'm going for my powder blushes, like I'm just not really reaching for the cream blushes. Like I've been doing the one from Pixie just because it's new and I put it in a get ready with me video recently. But prior to that, I don't know the last time that I've used a cream or liquid blush. So right now in this moment, I accidentally threw it away, I dropped it in the toilet, whatever. Would I run out and buy it? I don't think that I would. I like it, but I don't think that I would. Next up, I have this one from Charlotte Tilbury. This is one of the Cheek to Chic blushes, and this is in Pillow Talk. Listen, I talk all the time about how this is one of my favorite blushes, and it has stood the test of time. I bought this, again, probably back in 2016, 2017. Like, it should be expired and gross and weird and all of the things, but I still think it looks beautiful, and it's one of my most worn blushes. I remember being very nervous to buy this because I believe it was $40 when I bought it, and I was like, $40 for a blush? Are you kidding me? But I would see, you know, influencers make us have FOMO and make us buy makeup, and they're the ones that hit the checkout button and use our credit card to make these purchases. I do not take any personal responsibility buying this blush. It was because I would see it in so many videos that I decided to buy it. But I have no regrets, and like I said, it's one of my most used blushes. I reach for this constantly. Constantly am reaching for this, so yes. This is a yes for me. I would definitely repurchase this. Like, if I lost it, if I broke it and it shattered, I would go out and I would buy that blush for sure. And the last blush that I have to talk about is from Dior, and this is one of the Rosy Glow blushes, and this is the pink one. I just got this one this year, right? I'm pretty sure, yeah. It was this year, earlier in the year, that I bought this one. This is a viral product. I was searching for it everywhere. It was always out of stock online, out of stock in store. I finally found it in store. I believe there was just one left, and I walked into a Sephora and it was just there. And it had my name on it and everything. I was like, what? I'm just kidding. But I bought it. I love it. I wear this all the time. I do quite a bit of traveling now. This comes with me all the time because it's such a long wearing blush. Like, you put it on and I will go out, you know, leave my hotel room for hours and hours. This blush is not going to move on me. It's beautiful. It's one of my favorites. I recommend it all of the time. This is another one that's a definite yes for me. Again, I want to say this was around $40 or so, but this was a great purchase. Wear it all the time. So for sure, the Charlotte and the Dior, I would repurchase those. All right, and then moving over to bronzers. Let's see here. I have two from Charlotte Tilbury. Let's just keep going with Charlotte Tilbury. So two different bronzers from Charlotte. One is the Airbrush Matte Bronzer, and then one is the Beautiful Skin Sun-Kissed Glow Cream Bronzer. These are very expensive as well. Again, $40, $45, something like that. And I bought both of these myself. I sometimes get PR from Charlotte Tilbury, but it's like, it's not always new products, and like I never really know like when something is coming. And I remember with both of these, I was like, I just really want to try both these bronzers. Like, I don't even care if I get them in PR later, like great, but I really want to try both of these. This is tough for me because I was saying in my declutter that I have a lot of hard pan issues with the matte powder bronzer. But I was like, for whatever reason, I described it as like the X that I keep going back to. Like, I cannot, like, I still like this one so much and I still reach for it so much. But right now, would I repurchase it? See, I'm having so much fun doing these videos because I'm like, I'm really trying to think. I don't think that I would. Like, if I were to drop it on the floor, because that's what I keep doing, if I were to drop this on the floor and it would break, I don't think I would need to go out and get it. I feel like I have some other bronzers that I really enjoy and I'm using a lot. This is still pretty, I still like it, but especially because of the hard pan, because like every time I go in it, I have to use either like the tape, the cotton ball, something. It's beautiful and I'm glad I kept it. Again, this is not a declutter video. It's not a declutter video. But would I buy it again right now? I'm going to say no. And then with the cream bronzer, I was saying in my declutter that yes, I am going for my powder products more, but for whatever reason, like if I am using a cream bronzer, it's typically going to be this one. I do also really like the Rare Beauty bronzer stick that was sent to me in PR. I'm fairly confident that was sent to me in PR, so I didn't put it in this video. Same as like the Lawless blush. Like I talk about the Lawless blush all the time. Fairly confident I got that in PR as well. So I wanted to just include the products that I actually bought myself and would I buy them again. This is one I think that I would buy again. This is so pretty to me, and I did declutter a lot of my cream bronzers as well, and I think that this is one that I would still want back in my collection. This is just beautiful. I think Charlotte does a lot of products really well, especially a lot of cheek products, a lot of complexion products, the blush wands, the contour wand, the highlight wands, the bronzers, cheek to cheek blushes, all of those. They just look so beautiful and so natural on the skin. And even if you don't do, you know, a lot of cream products or even a lot of liquid products, hers are just easy to use and I really enjoy them. So I do think that I would repurchase that. Next up, I have one from Pat McGrath Labs. I think I bought this year too. This is the bronzer in Bronze Dawn. So this is a matte powder bronzer. I used this recently in a Get Ready With Me as well, knowing that I had my bronzer declutter coming up, and I was like, I don't know, am I gonna keep it? Am I going to declutter it? I did decide to keep it around, but would I buy it again? No. And that was a pretty easy no for me. Again, I don't mind it. It didn't turn into my favorite bronzer. I don't consistently reach for it like I do some of the bronzers I'm going to mention, like my Sigma matte bronzer is what I have on today. I'm always reaching for that one. So this is one, it's pretty and it's nice, and again, like I'm keeping it around because it's a little bit newer in my collection and I don't have a ton from Pat McGrath, so I'm like keeping it, but I don't think that I would need to repurchase it. I have my Becca Capri Coast. Okay, it was really funny to look at the comments from my declutter video because I was like, is this done? Is this done? All I have is around here. Like this might look a little bit darker on the screen, but this is just all pan right here. The only actual product is what is around the pan there. And I feel like the majority of comments said it's done, move on. And then there was still a few that was like, no, you can still get some more uses out of it. So I still keep around my Becca Capri Coast, but obviously I really love this one. You know, I remember when the Becca bronzers were becoming such a big thing. Again, we're going back 2016, 2017, and it was one of those that it was like, I felt if I didn't have Capri Coast in my collection, like I was not a real beauty YouTuber. Like you had to have that one. I remember hitting pan on it, and then I remember being so intent on using it all the way up. I've been doing my project use up this year, which I need to film my finale for, so that's coming soon. But would I purchase this again? Well, no, because you can't. There is no more Becca Cosmetics, so that's awkward. But let's say for funsies' sake, hypothetically, that Becca Cosmetics was still around and I could still purchase Capri Coast, would I? I really did like Capri Coast because it had a little bit of shimmer in it too, and it just looked so pretty. I mean, it was like selling out all the time for good reason. If Becca was still around and I could still get Capri Coast, I think yes. I think I'm leaning towards yes. But then also, see, this is like kind of tricky because it's like, am I just saying that because I can't? Because I can't get it? Even if I'm saying hypothetically it would still be around, in my mind I still know that I can't get it. So does it make it more like you covet it more because you can't get it? I think I'm still gonna go with a yes on this one. I'm still gonna go with a yes on this one. I think I would. That was a pretty bronzer. And then lastly we have, speaking of makeup that I throw around, this is from L'Oreal. I promise if this is your first video and you're like, why does she throw her makeup? Does she have anger issues? I just drop things a lot. I'm just clumsy. And I've also realized I typically always have a carpet underneath my desk. But when I moved, I apparently just threw, no, my carpet, got it. I see. When I moved in my last apartment, I had my desk and my filming desk in the same spot. They were like back to back with each other. So I had one big carpet and both were on there. But now I have a separate space just for filming, and then a separate space, a separate room for like my desk, and that has the rug under it. I was like, what did I do with my rug? I should probably get a rug to put under this desk with the amount that I drop makeup. That's why things are breaking, because they're hitting the hardwood floor. It took me this long to realize that. I've lived in this apartment for like 2 months. Anyways, so we have from L'Oreal the Infallible Fresh Wear 24-Hour Bronzer. So I dropped this the other day. So that's not pan. I just dropped it. I was very sad about it. But this is one of my favorite bronzers. This is one of my most reached for bronzers. If this would have broke and like completely shattered and I couldn't use it anymore, I would have already had one on its way to me. I travel with this bronzer all the time. Again, I wear it so much. It's so natural. It blends out so smoothly. It's so beautiful. So this is an absolute yes for me. 100%, I would be repurchasing that one. And it's more affordable, which is great. So after that, that's gonna wrap it up for Would I Buy It? Blushes, bronzers, face duos, and also highlights. I hope you enjoyed seeing this, and I hope it's fun. It's just kind of like a casual video, but it really has gotten me thinking. So if you want to see any more of these videos, please let me know which categories in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next one.